going on
Is
once.
there a link that I can
Twice.
give to Anne so she can watch it, or tell her where to go?
Yeah. No. When we're going live, are you in the group? You can share out to your page or your group or your. So we are now live. So I am sharing into my page or my personal page, and then Anne can watch it from there and she can share on her page as well. So I can share it with you. I can tag you, and then it will be on your page. Let me see. Um, nope, does not happen. So this is live and yeah. Well, Anne can watch it from here. Um, it's a little clunky when you're trying to do this and then trying to go in. So, anyway, I can't go in and edit it because it's going to take some time. Um, Hello, everyone. I know we're kind of mumbling. I am mumbling, by myself about how to share and how all this thing. But Jana, if you go into the Surviving and Thriving, and there's a button that you can share directly to your page, and Anne can go in and share from her page to her page as well. So welcome. We're so glad to have Jana here with us today. Hey, Sarah, how are you?
Good. How are you? Hi,
We
Jen.
are, yeah, we are on our final stretch of February. It's the theme of love, and we keep expanding that love and stretching that love as far as we can go. And today we're actually going to stretch that love from here all the way to the refugee people in Malaysia. And Jenna is going to fill us all in detail about her mission and how she started this group, and how I'm just so touched for her love of humanity and her love of mankind and her love of people that who are voiceless and helpless, uh, aka refugees. Um, so we start the program like every day. We ask Sarah to kick off the program with introducing us to who we are and why we are here for a few minutes, and then I'm going to chime in, and then we're going to pass the mic to Jenna.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah, let me kick off. Let's get started. Everybody, welcome back. Thank you for tuning in. Lee and I, we co-host this show since March 2020, and it's our pleasure. And give us a lot of opportunity to share wonderful program, wonderful people like today. So let not wait too much longer. I'm Sarah M. I grew up in Cambodia. As you probably already know, Cambodia gone through a very hard time when the communists took over our country. During that time, I was in college. I was away from home and all by myself. And I struggle to survive. And what I found that because of my love for my family, that's what keep me alive. So love is very important during the hard time. So I just want to share this mic that I am grateful that God kept me alive. And not only that, He protected me during my escape out of the country. So now I'm here peacefully and so grateful for all the opportunity, all the people that I met. So especially my dear friend Lee here. So okay, so I have my story in the book without taking too much time. My book is called How I Survived the Killing Fields, and it's available on my website, sarahim.com. And now I'm going out into the community, speaking and sharing, inspiring people. So back to you, Lee.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. While she was struggling in the jungle, hoping not stepping on landmines, my family and I were struggling out in the sea and drifted in the pointless, nowhere that we know where we're going, and we got pirated, and it's all because of freedom, the love of being free, and love from God, from my parents, from all the people who helped us, um, help us to get to where we are today, where I am here today. Is I have to say that I'm really thankful to the people who took our family in Minnesota, who
Mm.
sponsor us, who look after us, take care of our well-being. And there's multiple layers of people who actually help out, volunteer, and do all kind of job in the refugee, in the humanity, in the um, Red Cross and United Nations, and all sort of love going on there. So I am also a TEDx speaker, and I tell my story on my website, on my book. If you want to connect with me, you're welcome to go to leetran.com, and you can find all the information there. And I'm also a speaker, and I'm also a coach. So there's many layers that I want to give back. And one of the very strong mission that I find out in my life is to give back to the refugee people. They are so helpless, and they are so powerless. And I have seek out, and fortunately, I was in the same networking group in the NSA with Jana Stanfield. And my ear perked when I heard she is promoting kids in the refugee and doing work for business people. So one day I called Jana up and say, I'd like to find out more. And little did I know that after that moment, I was hooked. I mean, her vision is so grand that I just cannot help myself but to step in and do whatever I can to help. And today I'm inviting Jenna to come and share with us about, who she is. She's actually a very famous singer, songwriter, and she performed all over the world. And she has toured that to not just help people, is called volunteer. So she can tell us a little bit about that too, and what led her to the mission that she is today. So there's a mouthful there, Jenna. I'm sorry, I'm keep asking and didn't give you a chance to introduce yourself. So please help us out. Welcome, Jenna.
Thank you. I always wanted to help girls because I know that in many countries, girls don't get an education unless their parents can pay for it. And sometimes girls get left behind. And Sarah, I've been to Cambodia so many times that I customized one of my songs for Cambodia. Would you like to hear just one verse and chorus of it?
Yes.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. Like a tiny speck of sand can grow into a pearl. Every Khmer woman was once a little girl, a miracle of nature, brilliant by design. Like the summer sun, she was born to shine. Ah, give a girl hope and opportunity. You will be amazed at all that she can be. Every Khmer woman was once a little girl, with the power to change her world.
I love it. Every time I listen to that song, I just want to cry because it's just so beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, there's a video of it, Sarah, that you can find on YouTube. And you can look up, every Khmer woman, Khmer, if you don't know how to spell that. I know Sarah does. And so you can find it there. And, certainly if you want to connect it to your book, please do. The whole thing is about making the world a better place, and everybody using whatever gifts, talents, or aptitudes and abilities that you have to make the world a better place, just like you two are doing.
Oh, that's wonderful. I will look that up.
Beautiful. It's
Yeah, when we
beautiful.
made the video, um, there were very few girls were dropping out of high school. So we could get them an education, but they were dropping out because some of these rural girls had never seen anyone graduate and didn't know what it would even look like to be able to have a job out off of, outside of, gathering and farming and growing something on their little pieces of land. So the video shows young women working at jobs to give younger girls a picture in their minds of what you can do if you stay in school.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So when did you go to Cambodia and Vietnam?
I have been going there for about 15 years to
Oh,
both
wow.
countries.
Okay.
Um, I'd say my favorite place in the world is Bali because it's very spiritual and
Mm-hmm.
you see the people practicing their spirituality in their native clothing currently.
Mm-hmm.
In Cambodia, that's my second favorite place. It's the little town called Siem Reap, Cambodia, where I have gone so many times. I've ridden bicycles out to Angkor Wat and going on Sundays when people have their families there and they bring their picnics and
Mm.
picnic outside Angkor Wat like I can imagine they've been doing for thousands of years.
Yes.
Um, it said that that Angkor Wat was only discovered in the 40s, 1940s, but it was never lost,
Yeah.
was it,
Yeah.
Sarah?
They've been built 900 plus years.
Is that how old it is?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, it's
Oh,
amazing. So I love Cambodia and just I want to be helpful. So wherever I go, if there's a chance to help, then I want to do that. And Lee, Vietnam is so beautiful. When I was there, I kept telling my tour guides, I want to apologize because I was in high school when Americans were here and I didn't know they were still doing things
Well,
when I was in high
yeah.
school. I want to
It's
apologize.
not your fault. It's nobody's fault. I have not been back, sadly, I have to say. One day when my husband and my son both available, we will have a family trip there, and we hopefully that would also take a tour to Cambodia in Angkor Wat as well. But yeah, the country have changed so much since we left. You could not believe the country when we left in 1979 is a totally different country. I mean, right now I saw things posted on Facebook from my family, Duke's nieces and nephews and sisters, and it's just like it's almost as good as we are over here. So things have changed quite dramatically, and I'm glad that the country is doing a lot better, a lot more prospered.
Mhm.
Um, but there's still a lot of humanities out there that it needs to be. There's still a lot of work. I think it's just like anywhere else is probably still ongoing. But tell us a little about the refugee film school and the refugee student that you are helping with right now.
Mm. Um, the idea for Refugee Film School actually came from wanting to help girls.
Mhm.
And I was in Africa the first time I saw a sewing school where girls would come from their villages. They would live at this school and they would have education for half a day, education for high school. And then in the other half a day, they would sew and take contracts to sew uniforms, that the school got the contracts for. And when they graduated from high school, they had earned a sewing machine, which I thought was a great idea. So this girl can earn her living. But it was a sewing machine that she would be operating with her feet for the rest of her life.
One
And at that
stitch at a
time,
time, right?
yes. And at that time, I thought, what if girls could learn to edit video
Mm-hmm.
like I learned when I was in university as a teenager?
Right.
What if girls could learn to edit video and could earn a computer at the end of high school that they could take with them so they could have a job in the modern world and a place in the modern world and
Yeah.
not be left behind again? So I carried the seed of this idea for 10 years, and I kept telling video people,
Mm.
you should go to a country and start this. I know it will work. You should go do this. And people would say, well, why don't you do it? And I would say, I'm not a teacher. I don't have a video business. I'm a musician. I'm a speaker. I'm a comedian. I make people laugh. I inspire people. That's not what I do, but no one else would do it. And I knew it would help. And so when I found this refugee school where where I had a captive audience of high school students, I knew that maybe I could start it there. And so that's what has happened
Oh,
1 year ago.
wow.
Wow. So there is a lot of refugees in Malaysia, which a lot of the people in the world had no idea. I am a former refugee myself, and I think of refugee as somebody, it's like two countries got war, and then one population would spill over to the other country. But I had no idea that in Kuala Lumpur, in Malaysia, there's still a big, large population of refugees that coming over from Middle
Yes.
East,
Yes.
from all different part of the
Yes,
world.
from Africa.
Mm,
Uh-huh.
And that may be partially because it's a Muslim country.
Mm-hmm.
So people from other Muslim countries think that they would be safe
Mm-hmm.
in Malaysia, and
Yeah.
Malaysia is very kind to accept asylum
Right.
seekers.
mm,
Right.
Yeah.
So these refugees been there for quite some times.
Oh,
I mean,
10
there's no
years.
definite time that they have to come. They come in, and certain time that they get out. So they get out whenever they get out. Whenever
Yes.
they have paperwork from different country to give them the resettlements. So there must be a lot of kids that been there since they 5, 6 years old, and now they're teenager.
Yes.
mm,
Because most of those families only left with what they could carry.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
we know what they carried. They
Right.
carried their children.
Yes. Yes.
So the students in my school came when they were small children in their parents' arms, escaping from the Middle East.
Mm-hmm.
And now they are 15 years old, and just they're such lovely students, and they know that their parents left everything to save their lives, and now they want to save their parents and their families.
Right. So that's a great vision that you have, seeing the computer replacing the sewing machines for GAR. And I really personally want to thank you for that, because a lot of time uh, you have broke the traditional norm of thinking a girl should be in the kitchen, should be sewing, should be knitting, should be married and have kids. And here you see a girl in the modern world making a living by doing graphic designs and website designs and editing videos. So that is a really great vision to take the girls out of poverty and build confidence at the same time. I want to
Yes.
thank you for that.
And we learned in Cambodia at a school that we support in Siem Reap that um, sometimes it just takes someone showing girls. They had this basketball goal in their school, and there were some women that were on a trip with Together We Can Change the World, which I co-founded 10 years ago. And when we were in Siem Reap, we wanted the girls to play basketball, and they're like, no, that's for boys. That's for
Hmm.
boys. And so every woman on our team got out there, and we played basketball to show them that girls can play basketball, that
Yeah,
girls can do anything we set our minds to.
that's very refreshing for people in that culture where we came from. And and sometimes it take a foreigner to break through for us because foreigner, Westerner usually have open mindset, and equality is very important to Western culture. And where Japan, Asia, Indonesia, Malaysia, Vietnam, China, we're still a little lack in that, and we're a little behind. Well, actually, a lot behind some places. But this is so great. So your vision is to form. So you were co-founder of Together for Good Worldwide.
Mhm.
And what is that mission?
Um, Refugee Film School is our first project,
Okay.
and our goal is to help our students build a bridge for their families from refugee to free digitally.
So
Oh,
explain that bridge.
Okay. So what we do is we teach the students how to edit video, do graphic design, and do social media. Right now, we have students working as refugee assistants,
Mm,
and the person who hires them is offering them refugee assistance
that's
because
brilliant.
like Lee hiring one of our students, it takes a lot of assistance to help a young girl from the Middle East who never touched a computer until just a few months ago, to help her with everything she needs to learn so that she could actually be helpful to someone in business.
And I
And
love
so,
the names, Carl. Learn to earn. It's
yes,
so
learn to earn.
appropriate because they're learning as they're earning. And how do they earn? Because they do produce work. They produce. Those are beautiful, intelligent teenager. Give them a computer. In in a week, they come back with things that you are like draw dropping because it's like, how could you know all of this when you never touched a computer before? But
Yes,
it's
you
just
know,
brilliant.
in my family, there's a family that has a boy and a girl. The girl is older, and they, wanted to make her chores, and then she would get money for doing her chores. And the little boy loved doing his chores and getting money, but his older sister said, "Nah, I don't need it."
Hmm.
But these students are so motivated for
Hmm.
$5, for $10. They are
Yeah.
so motivated because in most countries where refugees are, as you two know, refugees can't take a job from a taxpayer because the taxpayers pay for the schools and the hospitals and the roads. So it's illegal for refugees to work, which means they have no income to pay for a place to live or for food for their families. So that's where all of the money goes. The students don't take any for themselves.
That's just devastating when they can't make an income and there's nothing provided for them as far as assistance wise, like
Yeah.
no UN assistance, anything. So they are very, I guess, rely heavily on those students to help the parents to pay for rent, utilities, and they have all those kind of expenses like we do over here.
Yes, like phones and
Uh-huh.
internet. No one says, oh, you're a refugee, you get to have cheaper internet. And if
Right.
they go to the doctor, they have to pay full price, unlike one of the people who lives there. So the thing about these refugee students that's different from the family, that's my family in the United States, these students are so motivated.
Mm.
They are so
They're
motivated. You've
driven.
seen
Yeah,
them.
they're
They know
driven.
what they can do, and they just want a chance to do it and a chance to help their families who gave up everything
Right.
so that they could live.
Yeah, I think that's part of the nuclear family too, that coming from the East and Middle East, I think very similar value in a sense that you are a unit As long as you are not married, you're in the family, and even when you're married, sometimes they still live together. Uh, there's many cases that's not strange to us. We're very in tune to that.
Yeah.
It's actually very beautiful. When I went after I was started leading trips to Bali, someone in the United States asked me, "Well, are let's see, are women still abused in oh yeah, are women still abused and limited in Bali?" And I just thought, well, you should know that they live in family compounds and that the men go to work in the morning, the women care for the children, teach the children. And when the man comes back to the family compound, there's an area where he says prayers so that he will not contaminate the
Yeah.
family with the ideas of the outside world
Mm,
that they don't need to know because they have peace inside their
mm.
family compound in their yard.
Wow, that's something different.
Yeah.
So if people want to work with these refugee students, Jenna, how um, how do they contact you? Or I mean, what kind of service can the refugee film school provide? And who are basically your target client, your the people that you serve or the refugee film school serve?
You know, our target audience is people who would like to be helpful. And then every dollar they spend on their refugee assistant is assisting us in helping that refugee and more refugee students. So it's not just someone who wants inexpensive labor. That's not what we want at all. We want people who are willing to mentor the student, who would care about them, who would see that student's heart. And even though there are so many things they don't understand because they've never been exposed to our ideas, they try so hard. And so we look for people who would care about this teenager and reach out a hand to help them and lift them up. So we say, it's not a handout, it's a hand up. So our ideal clients are people who are willing to give a hand up to a deserving refugee teenager and their family.
And I want to be a testimonial. I want to shout out to Jana. Um, this is humanity love that we're talking about. This is not just a job and be done, but this is a continuing of support, um, of seeing these young folks blossom into something that so society will benefit from them. They will benefit from society. And in turn, we all will benefit from it because one day we grow old, we're going to need some younger generation to take care of the earth, of take care of the planet, to be a leaders. And when I reach out to Jenna, I was hooked. I was totally hooked for months on end now that I have been a part of the staff member and the leadership. And I have to say that I have seen all the students, they work very hard, super intelligent, and they are driven for sure. They are totally driven to help their family and eager to learn um, the personal development that they always asking question and they want to learn. So I encouraging you that if you have a small business and you are looking for some charity that to contribute, to donate, to be part of, so you can expand your humanity love and to help refugee to freedom, this would be the cause. And it'll save you a lot of headache if you can't know how to edit videos, because these students will help you do that, and graphic design and all those things.
And handle your YouTube channel. They can
There
do
you
so
go.
many things now. They teach us all the time.
Right.
Not only that, doesn't it just make you so happy?
I am in love with my assistants, and I'm in love with every single student that I met in that organization. And not just that, I'm also in love with all the leadership, the adult in that program, because everybody is all in with 100% heart.
Yes.
It's nothing short of that. So I am very, very humble and honored to be a part of it. And I know that we are kind of restructuring our to expand our organization. So I know that Jenna is looking for mentor, donors, board position is available. So if you have some experience or even not have experience, as long as you have a goodwill, a willing to be part of it, I think Jenna is taking application to
Yes.
yeah, tell us a little more about that.
Yes. So, you know, it seems almost like we've been hitchhiking all this time, and we're building now an engine. We're building the structure. And thank goodness Lee has come on board because she's a scientist, a
Oh,
chemist. She has the brain for the structure for us so that we can put all this energy in and it goes forward toward that bridge from refugee to free. Yeah, so we are looking for board members right now and people who can be advisors and mentors to help the adults do this for the students, because there are so many ways you can help. I would especially love to have refugees who have um, who have made it themselves and would like to help other refugees and can say to themselves, what would have helped me? Can I give back now?
hint, hint, Sarah. No
Mm.
pressure. But yes, if you know any refugees, if you're part of the refugees, if you are any of my friends who's refugee and listening to this, please reach out to me or Jenna. We will get you all the information you need. And the requirement is very minimum, actually. Whatever you can allow your time to be part of it, we'll welcome you with both hands, both arms,
Yes,
and
yes,
we can always talk as long as you are willing to be part of it. We'll figure out something
yes.
that you can help. So I know we can talk for another 2 hours because we have not touched to the volunteer things and who you are as a person, as a singer. She's got a beautiful voice, and I love Jenna's song. She's got not just a regular song, but songs are uplifting and inspiring, and it just make it feel my heart and my soul. And I want to do more, give more because of that. So we are going to ask Jenna to give us one of her closing song that
You
to
bet.
help us remember this interview and anything that you want to perform, Jenna. We're our ears.
Together, 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 together we can change the world. 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 We cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good that we can do. But together, 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 together we can change the world. Together we can change the world. Together we can change the world. Together we can change the world.
Woo! Together we can change the world. And that is what we want to leave you. This is the love of humanity. This is the love for mankind. This is the love for the helpless, the hopeless, the voiceless. And we hope you are reaching out and be a part of this journey with us, with Jenna. Her vision is so large that we need to have more people to come in and step in and fill her vision. Thank you so much, Jana, for being with us here today.
So
Yes.
good
Thank
to
you.
have you. That's beautiful.
Yes.
Yes. And